We at the CC4 Museum of Welsh Cricket here in Cardiff, we value volunteers enormously. They provide a range of skills. They've got a vast array of different experiences and different expertises, which of course for us in the world of cricket heritage is so important. They also bring loads of energy, especially the students who we use from Cardiff University. Also, they bring a fresh pair of eyes and they can look at things in a very objective way, possibly in the same way, therefore, as a visitor to the museum for the first time would. Someone who's never visited before, and it's always important to get a fresh angle on things. There are many aspects to making a good volunteer team. I think enthusiasm would be the first criterion. Flexibility as well. Flexibility both in terms of days of week and hours, and also the flexibility to work at weekends with cricket matches taking place here at Sapphire Gardens over weekends. So we do need people who are extremely flexible. Also, the ability to work in the evenings when we have other evening functions and evening games. I think another massive criterion is a desire to learn, and also a desire to be part of a team and bringing in team working skills. I stress, though, that cricket knowledge is not essential. A basic understanding is all that's needed. And for us, it's all the other skills and expertises that those people bring will more than make up for a lack of understanding or knowledge on cricket. There are many things that make a good volunteer team, and I think perhaps it would be appropriate at this stage just for me to outline what we did here at Glamorgan. We did a skills audit in April 2020. We'd gone into lockdown in March of 2020, and we knew that we were in for the long run. We knew that there was only going to be limited opportunities in 2020, and also that we were going to be facing many challenges in 2021. So we did a skills audit. We identified our strengths, we identified our weaknesses. We also identified the opportunities and also the threats to the museum. As a result of that, that took a couple of hours with the existing team of volunteers, as well as our museum mentor who comes from the museum sector. From that, we drew up an action plan, and we put an advert out on the Glamorgan website asking for volunteers. And I'm delighted to say that we had 5 or 6 people who expressed an interest, and they've all come on board. They've got a range of skills and ages, lots of different perspectives as well, not just in terms of people who've come on board who are Glamorgan cricket supporters. These people also come from the world of club cricket. And they also include people in North Wales and also in West Wales, rather than just being Cardiff-centric and a focus on South East Wales. So by doing, as I say, the audit, doing that SWOT analysis and skills audit, that helped to identify something, and we've benefited enormously from that. We have many opportunities here at the Museum of Welsh Cricket. Here on site at Sapphire Gardens, there's a range of work specifically with the collection. There's scanning, there's digitisation, producing inventories and catalogues. We do have a modes system onto which information is entered by a former librarian from Cardiff University. We also, with the university, with their master's students in conservation, we're also able to do a condition assessment. And also we take advice on very basic conservation. We have a very good link with Glamorgan Archives, the County Record Office. And so with the help of our conservation volunteers, any extremely fragile items can go to Glamorgan Archives for the appropriate attention. Some of our volunteers as well link up with visiting school groups. Of course, in recent times, we haven't had many of those, but in the past, when we've had upwards of 12,000, visitors during a year, then we have had the volunteers working as well. Some of them actually who play and coach cricket are able to help out there. having obviously undergone all the relevant paperwork and DBS checks. We have several project-based initiatives as well, in particular, two I could mention, which are the podcasts and the tweets. So it's our social media. We're working on our website at the moment, but what we've had since July 2020, we've had a series of weekly podcasts in the summer, every fortnight in the winter, and very frequent, almost daily tweets as well, with a cricket theme or various messages. These have been overseen by two excellent volunteers, Stephen Hedges, a former master's student at Swansea University, also a librarian in the Swansea area, and a young history undergraduate called Jan Gray, who has actually played second 11 cricket for Kent and is involved in the Cardiff UCC setup. I'm delighted to say that Jan's going to be around now doing a master's in history for the next couple of years. And so I'm delighted that he's going to be able to continue his work together with Steve and others on our social media presence. We also have remote volunteering opportunities, and these in particular are where we liaise with cricket clubs. Now, some of the cricket clubs have come to our attention as a result of the podcasts, and others are clubs that we have approached ourselves, knowing that they're well run and they have a story to tell. What we've done is we've identified and established a heritage champion at each of the clubs. It could be one person, it could be a little group of 2 or 3 people, but at least all inquiries then will filter through the heritage champion. And what we've done is we've helped them by breaking down the tasks into sort of meaningful areas and a tangible timeline. Rather than saying, well, can you find out everything since your club was formed at the end of the 19th century, which of course is a huge task. What we've done, as I say, is we've created a mini team of people at each club, but having the heritage champion one point of contact, it means that everything in terms of communication is nice and smooth. And if a query comes in, we know exactly by email or telephone who to get in touch with. What we've been able to do is we've put 8 of these club summaries on the existing museum website. We are in the process of upgrading the website, and we will have enhanced material available online early in the new year. In particular, what we've invited the club volunteers to do is to produce a photographic story, not necessarily every photo of the club, but to use their existing resources. Most clubs will have photographs or illustrations around the clubhouse. So scanning those in, adding a little bit of text, and actually, hopefully, that is going to engender an interest in the club's wider heritage. And by using the internet, putting people at the club in touch with people who are no longer living in the area or who are no longer associated with the club. And we believe that these are models for others to follow. In fact, one of the things we've done in readiness for our new website, we've created a digital resource called the 6 S's. Obviously a pun on the fact that in most cricket, there are 6 things. I know in the 100, there are only 5, but in other forms of cricket, there are 6's. So it's search, save, sort, store, secure, and share. And we believe that if the clubs, through the heritage champions, follow the 6 S's, they'll achieve what we all want. We keep our volunteering team engaged and in contact with each other. We have regular meetings. They used to be coffee mornings. They're now evening get-togethers, most Wednesdays, for half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer when we have more pressing things to talk about. But it's not the end of the world if people can't make it each week. But if we do meet up if everyone's there every fortnight, then at least everyone's aware of what is going on. And it's amazing when we're talking about contact with various clubs that in that volunteer pool, a couple of people may know others, individuals who are worth getting in touch with. The volunteers also meet up at our home matches here at Sophia Gardens when we're in playing mode. They tend to sit together in an area in the members' enclosure. And the other thing I think that helps to keep everyone engaged is that everyone's got specific tasks. So as I mentioned, there are some people who oversee our social media work, others who are doing the scanning, someone else who's doing the compilation, former BBC employee who's going through our 12,000 photos. I'm glad to say he's up to about 7,000 at the moment and counting. And everyone's got specific tasks, and people also communicate by email or give each other a ring. So it's been quite easy. And I think with most people being at home and wary of not trying to mingle and mix too much, people have had time on their hands. They're only too happy to have a weekly get-together or fortnightly get-together, as well as having an email. We offer a range of volunteer development here at Glamorgan Cricket. In fact, Glamorgan Cricket itself, as the parent body, there is a personnel manager who oversees all of the volunteering. That includes within the museum, as well as at the ground on our international days and other times of the year. For example, we've got some pop concerts and musical events coming up out of doors in a few days' time. So the volunteers have a lot of opportunities to go off and hone their skills in other areas. And the personnel manager does offer advice and training, and people can go to various courses. What we also have for the museum specific volunteers, we do have a network within South Wales, within Wales as a whole, through MALD, the museum and section of the Welsh government. And lots of training opportunities do arise. And we have very good links as well with the Glamorgan Archives, the County Record Office, who also run similar courses as well. Thankfully, Professor Jane Henderson, who's Head of Conservation at Cardiff University within the School of Archaeology, she's a very good friend of the museum. And if she can help as well. So there are a range of other museum specialists who are only too happy to lend a hand, and we're only too happy to see them. And then when we host the international matches, it's quite nice when we do have some complimentary tickets where we can say thank you to our friends and our colleagues, and we can mingle socially with them and watch England play here in Wales.